So hello and welcome to this Civil3D webinar. The agenda today is we're going to be talking about the Autodesk tools that are available to help you achieve BIM level 2 in an infrastructure environment, starting with early stage design through to design, and then through to selling the project, whether that's internally, externally, or with other stakeholders or to the public. And we're going to be looking at some workflow stuff as well that's within the infrastructure design suite, so Civil3D and Infraworks specifically. My name's Ian Robinson. I'm the infrastructure consultant for Greatec, located in the UK. I've put my contact details up should anyone have any questions, so please feel free to note them down now. As I'm on my own today, I won't be able to answer any questions as they come in. We are recording this broadcast, so you should be able to receive, you should get notification of that being available on our website. You can also see some of our other broadcasts that we've done on our YouTube channel if you go to youtube.com. The user is address limited still. We haven't changed the user on YouTube. I'm not sure you can actually. I think that might be the problem there. Before we start though, I'll just tell you a little bit about us. For those of you that don't know who Greatec are, Greatec's a global organisation that develops, distributes, supports and customises a suite of BIM solutions for the AEC industry. We're an Autodesk Platinum partner across Europe, and combined with our own portfolio of established software, we can support projects across the full spectrum of our customers' requirements. We've got over 30 years experience with design solutions, CAD, BIM, etc. We're now one of the biggest worldwide Autodesk partners with 330 employees, including over 180 highly skilled engineers. And in the UK alone, actually, we've got over 70 staff over 5 locations, which is where I'm based. I'm in Durham today. I work from all the offices though. Okay, so let's just get started with the webinar. We're going to be mainly talking today about Infraworks as well as Civil3D, but for this presentation, don't think of Infraworks as a separate product. Think of it as an extension to Civil3D. What Infraworks does is it gives Civil3D extra power to provide a more user-friendly drafting option, allowing you to understand the project, convey your thoughts really quickly, with the civil bit allowing you to do the design work still. It also gives you the ability to share your designs in a way that was really only possible with specialist skills before, or deep pockets, of course. So in line with that thought, really, where does Infraworks sit in the workflow, and how do you get it? So here's a typical workflow, and you'll probably start with some mapping data, some topography and height data, maybe some master map and LiDAR, that type of stuff. Then you'll do your preliminary design, your actual design, and the outputs in Civil3D. If it's your remit, you might do some images and maybe some videos in Civil3D. You can do it. The project might be managed with something like Navisworks Manage and maybe some plugins. Excuse me. There's other products around that, such as Recap for point clouds, raster design if you've got imagery that you need to do some work on, maybe Georeferenced or vectorize, and then 3ds Max for doing some nice pictures, animations and videos. And Infraworks really sits here at the preliminary design stage. It brings all your mapping data together, so it does all that part of things. It allows you to sketch out options before you place your model into your Civil3D and do the actual design work. And it also sits here, so at the end you can take your Civil3D model and throw it back into Infraworks, and it'll give you the ability, without that specialist knowledge, to create images, videos, share your model on the web and through iPads and things like that. Really sell your ideas to non-technical people. Now you can just download Infraworks from the website. Just go to autodesk.co.uk or autodesk.com and just download the 30-day trial. And then after 30 days, if you've purchased it, you'll get all the features that you've purchased. If you're an Infrastructure Design Suite Premium user or Ultimate user, or if you've got Building Design Suite Ultimate, then you'll get the use of Infraworks 360 LT. If you're none of the above, you'll get a free viewer. So the main differences between Infraworks 360 and Infraworks LT, you can see I've put a nice little list on there. In the model creation section, the full version gives you this automated model creation. I'm not actually going to be showing you that today. I'm going to be working with data that I've got for free, and I'll work with that. But the automated model will get some USGS data, some OpenStreetMap data, some Bing maps, things like that as well. The other difference between them is the full version, you can put your models in the cloud, which allows you to create compelling websites effectively. So you can give people web addresses and let them view the models that you've created just using Internet Explorer or Firefox or whichever version they're using. And you can also collaborate within your teams as well in the cloud. So you can put your model in the cloud, people can be on the site with iPads and putting notes on the model, and you'll be able to see these notes, etc. So they're the main differences, but I've just highlighted at the bottom one new feature, which is network storage is available on both of them. So if you've got one version that you've purchased and you've got some Infrastructure Design Suite Ultimates, for example, you can store that model and the person using the LT can see the same model that's been created from the Infraworks 360 version, the full version. So that's quite nice. The other differences are the applications that you can purchase. So on the in this list here, you can see under Data Exchange, they all do the same thing. But then you can purchase either a roadway design, a bridge design, or a drainage design. I'm hopefully going to have time, well, I will have time to show you the roadway design and the bridge design. I'm not going to go into it in detail though. We're mainly concentrating on just getting a project in there and out very, very quickly. There are other videos that I've done which give you more detail on them, and there'll be more in the future as well. So it's just a kind of BIM workflow type thing that we're going to be doing today. Okay. As I mentioned, these are the data exchange, they're the important ones, so I've just highlighted them up there. They're available in both, so we can work with IMX files, collada files if you want animation, and you can import direct from Civil3D and also things like that. The free version, so if your manager wants to have a version and he isn't on the list for a paid one or for a suite, then he'll get the free version. There's no serial numbers, no product keys on any of these. You don't have to do any of that. Just install one product, and then when you log in, whatever your subscription manager has given you access to will give you that. If not, then you'll get the one that you're looking at there, which will do show you the model, allow you to navigate around the model, do a bit of statistics and sun and sky analysis, and you can do some measurements and things like that. Okay. There's another way of purchasing this as well. You can buy these Infraworks bundles. So there is a design bundle which gives you all of the vertical products that sit within there, the roadway, the bridge and the drainage. Or you can get the Design Bundle Plus, which is basically Civil3D, vehicle tracking, and also all the Infraworks models as well. So again, just have a word with your reseller and they'll be able to talk to you about that. Or if you're an Autodesk Direct, go and have a word with Autodesk and what have you. Okay, so let's crack on and we'll start with this early stage design. I'm just going to grab some data, chuck it at a model, sketch out my options and have a look at that. Time is probably going to be against us. I might not do land areas, we'll probably just do a road and a bridge, and we'll just have a look at a couple of options on that. So let me minimize that and we will open up Infraworks. Here we are. So this is the interface for Infraworks. As I mentioned, I'm just going to be looking at the workflows and what have you, so I'm not going to go through all of the features of Infraworks, but we're going to start with nothing. We're going to have a blank canvas and we're just going to grab some data. And the first thing is I'm going to grab some LiDAR data. So this is free data that you can get from the Environment Agency. It's a 1 meter grid and you literally just drag and drop it in. So that's just downloaded directly from the Environment Agency website through data.gov.uk. I just need to tell it what it is. So it's on the British National Grid. We can clip it to the model extent, and we also need to tell it what the node data value is, and actually their node data value is minus 9999. Turn the number lock on, 9999. So if there's any gaps in the data, it won't stick it a kilometre below ground, it will just leave a hole in there. I don't think there is on this, this tile. Just bring it in. There we go. So there's our LiDAR data. So that's our 3D model, which is quick and easy. So I want to put some referencing data on there. So if I had any Ordnance Survey data, I just drag and drop that on. But what we can also do is we can just chuck on some BIM maps. You can set the imagery level here. So level 19, you can see, gives you the highest number of pixels per meter, or meter stroke pixel. I'm going to leave it on 17. If you take it up to 19, you will get brilliant data, brilliant maps, brilliant 3D maps. The downside to that is it will obviously make it a bit slower. The trick with using the BIM maps is you click OK at this point, it adds the data source, and then you must click refresh, and it will then overlay a BIM map on top of this, which is rather nice. I'll just let the screen catch up. There we are, and there's our BIM map. Okay. Next thing is, what we're going to do on this project here is basically with the review of the bridges projects that we've got at the moment, particularly the floods in Cumbria. We're going to consider taking this road, and instead of people driving down here and across this bridge, we're going to consider putting a new bridge in here, straight across there from here. So we'll look at a couple of design options for that. So I could do with some road data, and again I can get some free road data. If you go to the Ordnance Survey, they have an open data policy, and one of the projects that they use, if I just go up one level, is one called Open Road, and here's the data, and you can see it's a massive database. So if I just look at just the road links, so road links there, you can see it's over 2 gigabytes worth of data. So in Civil3D you can bring all this data in, you can use FDO and bring it all in, but it's nice and easy. It's just to drag and drop that in here. Rather than bring the whole data set in, I just need to tell it that they're roads. Rather than bring the whole data set in, what we can do is we can go to the source and we can drape it on the surface and clip it to the model extent. So it's not going to bring in the 2 gig. It's going to take a bit of time for it to decipher what's within and what's without, and what's not in. Let me just, I need to just open up some notes on this, because I need to do some configuration. And there we are. There's my notes. Right, okay, so the first thing is the road data needs description, and I'm going to use the description which has the road number on it, and if it hasn't got the road number on it, then we'll put the road name on it, because of course all the C roads don't have numbers in mapping. So I'll just click on the, looks like binoculars to me, and I'm just going to type in a query, which is basically, I'll just copy and paste it because I wrote it yesterday. I'll just use the concatenate command in there, and we're going to concatenate name 1 and a space and road number. And if we just have a look at, you can see the data in there, so there's name 1, etc. So we've got all the different datas in there. Oh, I wish I'd not clicked on that now. And that's going to give us the name of the road, then a space, and then the road number. So we can use that information on when we style our roads up. So if it's an A road, for example, then we'll get it to style it as an A road. I really wish I'd not clicked on that now. Let me. I'll wait for it to respond. Tell you what, I'll close it, because this is the beauty with Infraworks, and I'll reopen it. Because it's database driven, all the stuff I've already done has already happened. So I don't need to have saved it. If I've made a mistake, which I did there, I can just go straight back into the model and it will just work and it will be as it was. So we'll open up that model. There it is. And I'll go in and I'll have a look at my data sources, and there's my road link, which is not configured. So you just double click it and we're back to where we were. So even when you cock it up, it doesn't matter. I'll just paste that in, hit OK. I'll make sure that I will drape it on the surface, clip it to the model extents, otherwise it will be humongous. Other ones I'll put a style rule in as well, and this time I'll use in there the class of road, so that'll tell me if it's an A road or a B road, etc. And then also I need to put some extra data in to tell me whether it's a dual carriageway or a single carriageway or a split dual carriageway or a slip road, that sort of thing. And there's no space really to put it in there, so I'll just go into the table and I'll just add it in as user data. So I'll just click in there and say, right, form of way, and that'll just say, it'll tell me if it's a dual carriageway or whatever. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Click close and refresh. It's going to bring all these roads in. Excuse me. There we are. That's not bad, is it? For basically, it has to look through a 2 GB file and decide which ones of these roads touch this model, and then it brings them all in. So if I look at the properties of a road, let's just pick this road here. Right click and properties. You'll see there's the extra information that I've just added in. That's what I did by adding in, it's called Bonnet Road, it's the A377. It's a single carriageway and the rule style is it's an A road. So let's open up our rules. So I'll go to my rule styles, there we are, and we'll go to our roads and we will import new rules. Roads. So let's delete all them ones, delete the rules, and we'll import some new ones, because you can save all of the stuff you do permanently. You can save. So if I do anything in a model, I'll save it out, and I just stick it in an area called Infraworks in this area on my website. DMRB. Nope. I think I might put them in there. Let's have a look. There we are, open road rule styles, click open, and there's all my rule styles. So basically if it's a motorway, it's going to style it motorway. If it's an A road, if it's an A road dual, or if it's an A road dual single-sided, then it will style it. So I'll just run the rules. I showed on another webinar how you create your own road styles in there. So these are set to our widths and our styles, and we can now do our preliminary work. So it doesn't take long really, just to chuck all that data in, just drag and drop it in to get the information that you want. Okay, so let's start with this area here, and we're going to put a new road in here, and we'll take it across here, and we'll do a couple of options on there. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the existing road. Yeah, and that's deleted that existing road. And then let's start designing our new road. So I'll go to my road tool, into my drawer, and I can just pick on local roads, and I can start designing with any of the roads that I want here. I'll just start with a single carriageway road. I'll probably put an extra lane in down here. Let's widen it down there, and then put it across here. So I'll start with just a single carriageway city road. We'll join it to there, go underneath the railway bridge, and then we'll take it around there. Now can you see the corner, the curves that it's putting in? These are basically to DMRB standards, and when it can't fit the corner in, you can see it snaps away. So if I can't get that corner in, and you can see if I was to try and put that corner in DMRB standards, I know that it's going to affect them buildings. So I need to be kind of cautious. But remember what this is, it's an extension to Civil3D. We're just doing preliminary work. You can do quite a bit, you know, with here we can adjust the corner radiuses in here, etc. So we can do quite a bit in here. Let me just design this road. I'll snap to there and then I'll finish here. That will put my road in. Okay, as I said, I'm affecting that, so I need to kind of take that down, that radius down to kind of 20 meters. So we need to consider the consequences of that. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put another road in. A city road, and I'm going to join it onto here, and I'm going to take it across this park and across the river onto our other road. Okay, junction probably not ideal. That's okay. We can select that junction and we can adjust all the radii, etc. And we'll have a look at other options in there. What I'll do is I'll now just call this one option 2. Option B, I'll call it. I've already done an option A, so I'll call this one option B. And then we can flick between the two. Okay, in fact, for option B, I'm going to drag it further up there. Okay. Maybe you want this road here to have an extra lane on it. Well, that's okay. We can go into our styles and we can add a style zone. So I'm going to split it. I'll put the same road in. So I'll go to my urban DMRB single carriageway city road. And I'm going to split it at this point here. So I can now, in this style here, if I go my lanes forward and my lanes backwards, I can then start adjusting what is happening. So in my lanes backwards here, I'm actually going to add a lane in. Like so. And then if I wanted a central reservation on that area, I'll go back to the style, and then I can change the style for this area here to whichever I want. So I go to my urban dual carriageway, I can put a central reservation in there, etc. And you can spend an awful lot of time working out the options on the road. Okay, that extra lane has not allowed me to fit the junction in. So again, I'll just spend time working out my options and designing that road to fit. Now here I want to put a bridge in. So let's just concentrate on that. I want to get to Civil3D. So as I say, I'm just flicking through this relatively quickly. So I'll just go to my bridge tool and I'll draw one. I'll do a steel plate bridge. And I'll start here and I'll finish there. Bet you've never done a bridge that quickly. Let it rebuild. And there's my bridge. Okay, my profile's not so good because obviously my original road, so I need to consider my profile for my road. So if I just go to the geometry editor, I can right click and go to show the profile, and then I can start designing vertically. So I want to go up over that area there and then down onto that area there. So let's just add some vertical IPs, vertical points of intersection or intersection points. We'll stick one here, and we'll stick one there. Okay, so now I can take my bridge up to about 10.5 meters, somewhere around there. That's above sea level. Okay, and there's my bridge. If I select the bridge, we can also have a look at an envelope, and we can say, okay, from 10 to 55 meters. Let's put a 3 meter clearance on there, and just see, can we get underneath there? Oh, that was a bit of luck. So we've got a 3 meter clearance on that bridge. And we can change the bridge style, the deck styles, all sorts of stuff we can do on there. Very straightforward. So just use the software to do all your design options. And when you've done one design option, explore another. So here's one I did earlier. So design option A. Just let it rebuild the model. And there's design option A. Okay. I've spent a little bit longer and I've done another bridge with extra one, and I've put some extra turning lanes in as well, down this road here as well. So we've got another junction in there which I've changed, and I've altered this junction here. There is in the tool here, in the road tool, a traffic simulator, which we will do another time. We won't have time to do that today. As I say, we're looking at BIM workflows. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That's going to be my preferred option. And what I'll show you afterwards is I'll show you how we can sell this idea, what have you. So you've done all that very quickly, sketched out the ideas, worked out a few bits and bobs. You now need to do the actual design work. So all you do, you don't need to save, you don't need to do anything, just shut it down and go straight to your Civil3D and bring your model in. So I'll go to the Insert tab, Infraworks 360, open up the model. There we are, open up an Infraworks 360 model. I just need to go and find that model, which I called webinar with today's date. It's going to check the coordinate systems match, and because I put them on the British National Grid, that's okay. I can bring the whole model in, but it's probably a bit big, isn't it? You know, we don't need everything. So I'll just bring in an area of interest, and we'll select that area. And as soon as you do that, I haven't set this up, it just brings in a Bing map for the background, and then you can go and find where you put your bridge, which we put here. Let me just go back to select area, and we want probably that area there. Makes sense. Then you just tell it which part of the model do you want, because do you need everything? Well, we need the surface. We could do with them bridges in as well, couldn't we? So we can do our profiles over the bridges, and we could do with our alignments in, and probably the junction, so we can get them curb returns in as well. That would be quite useful. And what you can do is you can select what type of object you want to bring in, and I've pre-selected all these and saved it as webinar XML. And just to show you what that is it's basically just ticking what you would like. You can see the things that you can bring in. If we were doing drainage at this point, you'd be bringing in all your utilities as well, your drainage networks. You'd also bring in any water areas. If I wanted to bring in the river, it would bring that in as a polygon, which is quite nice. And then also this is asking me how would I like it to be styled, and there we are. I've set the styles up beforehand. That's all. If I was bringing pipe networks in, what would surface, what style would they use, what catalogue, that sort of stuff. So I've already done all that for you. You can also go to refine the selection set and tell it of the things that you've said in the previous job which you would like. So in this case I've just said I want surfaces, I don't want any of the planning roads. So planning roads are the roads that we brought in using the mapping drag and drop open roads, and then we didn't want any of them, so you can see they're all unticked. And then design roads have all come in here. They all come in with this numbering here, and it's just basically an ID tag. So you'd probably be as wise to name them. I seem to remember, I need to think about this, but I seem to remember last time that is just an ID tag that can't be changed, so you might have to rename them afterwards. So that's the design roads that we've created, and then there's them bridges as well. Now I want to bring in the existing ground because that's the surface that we used for doing the design on, and that might be your survey, or it might be the LiDAR data, which is what we're using in this case. but I don't want to bring in any surfaces that Infraworks has created. So that's the transportation. So when it's created the road, it's also created a surface for it. I don't want to do that because I want the design element to be done in Civil3D. So you just click OK and open the model. And there's 80 elements now it's going to import from Infraworks. I should have got a cup of tea at this point, shouldn't I? Oh, look how quick it is. There's no worries there. And there it is. That's brought in all our data. I don't want the map anymore, so I'll just turn that off. And there's our surface. Object view of that. And there it is. So we have our high quality LiDAR surface. We've also got bridges. We can actually have a look at them with the surface. And there's our bridge. Structure over and under the ground, so there's the wing walls and the structure. There are bridge tools out there as well, so be aware of that. There's our curb returns, our alignments, etc. So what we want to do is we're going to just design this road across here. So before we do that, we could do with getting the levels for tying in on either side here. So I'll just do that. I'll just put some levels in. Probably best if I rename that road now. So I'll just go to my alignment properties. It was number 10. I'll just call this Bridge Road. I'll rename this road here. So that alignment there. We go to alignment properties, number 8, and I'll call this one. I can't remember. I'll just call it Left Road. Let's pretend it's that name. Road. Oh my God, what am there? Road. And then this road here, I will rename that one alignment properties, and I'll call it, what was that, the A366? I can't remember exactly what it was. A366. We'll call it the A366. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to do our alignments and get this to tie in exactly to these two roads. So in order to do that, I'm going to just draw some profiles. We've already got the profiles done in Infraworks on that. I'll accept them. So I'll just go to create a profile view and I'll pick my two roads. So there's my left road in there, and I'll draw that one. Okay, so existing road, existing style is for my ground, and it's called number 8, and that is going to be my design style, so I'm happy with that. So we'll just create the profile view. So that's my left road, and then I'll create a profile view for my A366. Everything should be okay, so I'll just plonk it in. And there it is. Existing ground profiles already done for me. Now the one that I really need to redo is the bridge one. So again, I'll create a profile view of that one, Bridge Road, and we'll plonk that one in there. So now I need to put this bridge structure in. It's going to go quite a bit underground, so I'm actually going to, I should have done that when I first created it. I'll just go to my levels and I'll use a specify it to minus, well, what do you reckon, 6 meters under? I'll go minus 2. And above, we'll leave it at 15. There we are. So that will allow me to put my bridge structure in. Now what I want to do is I want to add in the levels for the existing road, and in order to do that, I'll just run a simple carriageway. You'd spend a bit more time on this, wouldn't you? Oh, I've used the wrong one. Let me get rid of that one. You could just put a temporary one on there. Simple two-way. Let's put that road on there. Okay. So I'll just run that down here and surface them, because I don't really need to see them. So I'll do my corridor. I'll call this left I'll pick my alignment left road, I'll pick my profile, the one that's on there, I'll pick my assembly and my target surface and hit OK. Oh, we're over on the other screen here. And I'm OK with that. Okay, so there's my road, and all I need to do is just surface that. I don't need to see the surface, I'm not interested in seeing it, but I just want a top surface so I can do my tie-ins. And again, part of our training that we do is to show you how to do that. But you can see now at this alignment here, if I hover my mouse, I've got my left surface, so it gives me the level of the road as well as the existing ground. I'll do the same on the right one, so I'll just do a quick corridor down there, and I'll call this one A366, I think it was. A366. I've got my profile, my assembly, and again you'd use the assembly that's relevant to the road, and we'll target the existing ground. Again, I'll just accept the defaults because it's a webinar and we're not actually going to build this, and we'll just surface that one as well. And again, I don't need to see it, so I'll do no display. We'll overhang correction, we'll add the top links in, we'll just put a boundary in there and rebuild the corridor, and again just double check it. So we've got our existing ground, you can see there, and we've also got our surface. So all I need to do is in this profile is add them two surfaces in. So I'll go to profile, create a surface profile on my bridge road, and I'm going to add in my left surface, and I'm going to change the style of that to a different colour, and I'll add in my A366 surface, and I'll change the style of that to another different colour, and just hit OK, and there they are. So that's my road on either side of my bridge. So now we need to start looking at working out if we can actually fit this bridge in there using design standards. So I'll just go to my geometry editor, and we can see in the table view we've got all our profile curves in there, and we need to add another point in. There it is. We need to take that point, put it to the end of my road. That's actually not quite the road, and then put a vertical curve in there. So I'll just stick a circular curve between that point and that point, and maybe I should extend it a bit further in, or further out should I say, and we'll just type in the values. I'll just stick a small one in for now, and then we'll have a look at how big I can take that. Tell me object snaps off. How big we can take that. That's the shoulder. We're going to lift the shoulder, and it tells us what vertical curve length we can get in. So it's under 10 meters. So maybe you need to drag that out a little bit more, and then we can work out the value. So let's put 20 meter curves in there, and then we'll do the same on this side. I'm actually going to add a point in here because, sorry, I've deleted a point. I meant to add a point in. What am I doing? There it is. Just take that over a bit. There we are. I'll snap that to the end. F3. Take that down to here, and then extend the grade break, and then add my vertical curve in. See how big I can get it. Okay, so again, you know, as an engineer, you'd spend more time on that. There's a couple of nice things you can do, though. You can project that bridge onto there. So if I just go and pick my bridge, can actually have a look at that projected onto here. I'll exaggerate them because obviously I'm using an exaggerated style. And there's my bridge on top, my structure of my bridge on top. If I put that into natural scale, you'll see my profile view properties. I'll change that to a natural scale. You'll see obviously it looks a bit more realistic with them vertical curves that tie in beautifully into the existing road on either side. Yeah, I should have gone lower, shouldn't I? -6 maybe. Profile view properties, levels, what do you reckon? 6. Yeah, that's a bit better. There you go. On there. Okay. So once you've done that, look at that. I haven't even saved the drawing. Should have saved that drawing. I'll just do a save as. I'll call it bridge 2. Save. Okay, and then when you've got your drawing all done, you can just drag and drop that back into Infraworks with the design done to the standards that you want. Obviously, I'd spend more time doing all the design work in here and doing the curb returns. You can see I've got a widening coming off the bridge there, which obviously is not ideal. Well, it's not ideal, it's not possible. So we'd have to look at fixing things like that, and that's what you'd use Civil3D for doing the actual design on there. Then when you've done all that, you can go back to Infraworks and bring it back in. Okay, go back to my model. In there, I'm going to create a new one now and call this one design. Okay, and basically I can take my model and just drop it in here, and it will put these alignments in as per this. We'll put the alignments on top and put a road in as they are. Actually, I only want the bridge road edit because I've edited, basically I've edited the levels of that bridge road. Okay, and I'll take my model, bridge 2 I called it, didn't I? Drag and drop that in. Is it a DWG, a normal DWG, an AutoCAD one, or is it a civil one? It's a civil one. I tell you what I should have done. I should have deleted all the stuff I wasn't using and just brought that bridge in. That would have been better, wouldn't it? So you can see in there that we've got all our multiple options in there. So I'll just click close and refresh. And what I now need to do is delete all the other stuff. So bridge road is the only one I want. And it'll bring the bridge in. Bear with me, I didn't test this bit, so I just don't know how long that's going to take. It doesn't normally take very long, a couple of minutes. So I'll go into my roads and into my DWG, and I can just exclude them all, pick the bridge road, because that's the only one I want to bring in, and close and refresh that. I didn't do any work on the terrain as well, so I need to delete these ones on here as well. I've just done the surface level of my bridge. and then we'll show you how you can output that and create a video of that bridge, and then we're done, I believe. So while that's working, let me shift F5. Okay, so we've got the data in. We didn't do the land areas, but we've done a road and a bridge. We've imported the project into Civil3D. We've looked at design rules. I haven't done any grading, but we've done the road design to DMIB standards. I did long sections, I didn't do cross sections, and I didn't do setting out data. We've brought the project back into Infraworks, and now, looking at the time, we're going to do the create video and images. Okay, so that road there is set to my new levels in there, and all I need to do is go back in and put the bridge in and do the styles, etc, etc. I'm not going to do that now. We'll go back to here's one I prepared earlier, design option A. I didn't want to put the new styles back in. Okay, so there we are. So what we can do now, when we've got our, if you've got the full 360 version and not the LT version, the LT one you can still do videos and stuff like that. What we can do is we can go in and we can change the visual effects to high quality viz, so we can see shadows, we can put animation on there, what have you, so you can see animated sky, and you can change the clouds, and you can have a look at where the shadows of this bridge will be using the sun and sky. Not that the bridge matters, but you can see what it'll look like in the daytime, the night time, and throughout the year. We can change things like the wind direction, the wind speed. I'm in Cumbria, so I'm going to up the speed. I'm going to up the cloud coverage, because that's what it's like in Cumbria at the moment. The odd little bit of blue, we'll go with that, like so. And then we'll create a picture of that. When I'm doing a picture, I'd probably put buildings in and what have you, and again, I've done that in another webinar, so you can have a look at my previous webinars and what have you, but we'll just create a snapshot. I'll use the viewport resolution. I'll stick it on my desktop so we can have a look at it. I'll just call this one bridge option A and save, and it's as quick as that. So we've now got an image that we can put in a document or an email and send to somebody. Maybe you would like to create a video. Well, you can do a thing called storyboard, and in the storyboard maybe you'd like to add in a camera path. We can just have a look at our bridge from different options, different areas. We'll just add that in. Like so. And now you've got yourself a very quick and dirty video. You can see I'm no Steven Spielberg. Alternatively, you can create it from a design road. So I'll select that design road, and now we can just have a quick drive over our bridge, see what it looks like. Which is really handy, and then you can create a video from there. That's going to take too long to do right now, so I won't do the video right now. We'll have a look at one that I did earlier. All that can be done in the LT version or the full version. For the full version, you can also create websites. So there's a query I was doing for somebody recently. This is using very high quality data, and it's a humongous data set. You can see there's a I'm using this project for two things. There's a building site which we're in the middle of doing, and there is also a quarry, like so. You can see the quality of the data in there is incredible. It's up to date. It's beautiful. And if I go to my storyboard creation there, we've got a view of our quarry. There's a flyover, and then it spins round over the solar farm and over the wind farm, looking back at the quarry into the valley. That's the Upper Eden Valley. We've also got just a spin around our quarry. Now once you've done all of that, you can then share it. You can share it through a thing called the scenario browser, and I've done that here. Let me shut that one down, and I'm sharing that part of my model. And this may take some time, so you're going to get some talking from me while we let this run. One of them's called a quarry. So this is just Internet Explorer, and we're just letting this download into Internet Explorer. You'll see the quality data start to come in a little bit at a time. It does initially open up generalized so that the viewer can immediately have a look at the data, and then it'll start bringing that data in a little bit at a time. We can turn on layers on and off. We've got different levels of detail, so it's brought in the lowest level. It's now bringing in higher levels of detail. You can see it's starting to bring them in. Here we are, we're getting the extra data in, which it will render up soon. There it is, rendered up. Look at that, all in a web browser. That's not because I've got any special plugins here. You could have a look at this model. If you were to send me your email address, I'll add you to the list, and you'll be able to view this model as well. We can have a look at whereabouts it is on a Bing map. We can rotate the camera around, and we can also turn layers on and off. Okay, so any trees or points of interest that's in there, or any buildings, barriers, etc. And we can have a look at them videos. So them two videos that I did, if I click on quarry and hit play, quarry and hit play, it will whiz around the model as well. You see it start to build the model up. I'm just doing things because it's very, very high resolution. This. Look at my flyover. I can have a fly over my model as well. Okay, so while we're waiting on that model being built, without any, my gran could look at this, which is incredible really when you think about it. In terms of infrastructure projects, it is really, really incredible. Okay, I will shift F5 on that. Okay, so creating videos and images are a doddle. You know, you don't need that specialist tool. You don't need to sell your soul. Buy in these specialist tools to create views that everybody can see, whether it's on an iPad, a mobile phone, on the internet, or in the office. Everybody can that you want access to. You won't have access to that model, for example, until I give you access to it. You just need to send me your email address, and I'll do that. Okay, so any questions that you may have, I've left my email address there and a contact number there. I'm not actually in the office, but you can leave messages for me on that number, and they will always get them to me. And of course, you can visit www.greatec.co.uk, and you can see our YouTube videos of previous webinars that I've run, and also my colleagues in all the other different industries as well. Okay, so that is about it. I will leave up my details for you to jot down. If you have any queries, just get back to me. Thanks very much for attending, and I hope that was useful.